What a day in the life at the Rescue Ranch. Actually, she's just off to the side there having a little breakfast. Anybody out there want to guess what she's having for breakfast today? Yeah, she's having, so no big deal. But now it's time for the real exciting stuff that has to be done. Separated into different corrals or pens or anything like that. We have to do a lot of poop scooping, obviously, because with 9 animals here, we want to really make sure we're keeping the fly population down. That's really the main thing, is that we don't want to have flies. So here I am doing a little poop scooping, and the main thing also that we use, besides just keeping the place clean as we can, is we use called fly predators, which are just little tiny insects that we buy that we turn loose on the property, and they actually eat fly larvae. Isn't that crazy? We use insects to help control other insects to help keep the animals comfortable. So that's kind of an interesting concept if you never knew that was a thing before. And the other thing we use is my coconut oil fly spray that I hand make at Aspen Park Vet Hospital, and that's the only fly spray that we use on these guys because it's all natural, and it really works. So the other thing that's really important about poop scooping, which maybe you never thought of, is the fact that it gives us that opportunity to really examine what's coming out of our horses. So I definitely encourage you guys, think about that, whether it's your dogs, horses, cats, whatever it is. Always listen to their poop because it tells you a lot about their health. So if it's too loose or too hard, those are all things that should be warning signs for you to let you know that there may be something needs to be done. Maybe we need to change the diet. I see dogs and cats definitely not getting enough fiber in their diet pretty commonly, and so that I try to educate everybody about. I help make sure that they're make sure their little pets are having nice, big, soft, healthy bowel movements. Uh-oh, here comes Natalia. I'm sorry if there is fence on the other side here, but unfortunately the horses broke my last tripod, so I have to try to keep my camera and my tripod away from the horses. All right, well, it is Friday, everybody. For most people, that means the weekend is on the way. So what are your plans for the weekend? Do you have anything exciting planned for yourself? If not, you should, because you deserve it. So most likely you work hard because you love animals, otherwise you wouldn't be here. And so animal lovers tend to work hard. And so it's definitely also important to take a break for yourself. And so actually that's what I'm doing. I know it might not seem like it, but I am getting the place ready so that we can host friends tomorrow for our solstice party. And that's actually very healing and restorative to me, even though it does mean more barn work and dragging and weed eating and things like that today to get the looking good before you guys come tomorrow. Okay, so I just wanted to check the camera, make sure it looked like people are here. Let's see if there's any questions or comments or anything. Otherwise, hey guys, I'm just here to enjoy this Friday. I'm really grateful that I have this day, and do a little poop scooping. Look at everybody's poops. Make sure there are not too hard or too soft or too anything. And certainly that there's no worms in there, right? That would be awful. And if you found worms in there, that's definitely when you would want to call your vet, get on the program with some kind of deworming, because that is not something that we want to have. And the weekend is a great time to really, again, like take some time for you. Some of us do have to work 7 days a week, and I get that because I had to do that for a really long time. In some ways, I still do that. Just different work now that I do as opposed to just being in the hospital 7 days a week, because it's very important for me that I share this place with you. Right, I'm so honored and blessed and lucky that I get to be here most days of the week, every day, because there are definitely days that I have to be out doing house calls and taking care of sick fish that are hours away and things like that. And that's important too, right? I have to take care of them because I'm one of the only people that can, right? And so it's a very rewarding career to be in veterinary medicine, and especially fish medicine. As much as I love horses, fish medicine is so rewarding for me because of the fact that I get to be of so much value to other people, and appreciative because so many people have no idea there's any such thing as a fish vet in the first place. And so when they find out, they're so relieved that I actually care about their little fish, that they're so much more grateful than other people. So think about that, those of you out there who have pets and go to your vet. Think about the fact that you really appreciate your vet for what they do and all the schooling they have to go through in order to be able to help you. So be respectful of them and really value them. Okay, who knows who that horse is that just walked by? Imagine you guys could see her on the camera. Who knows? Put it down in the chat down below if you know who that is. And let's see. If you do it, I'll give you a prize. I'll send you a ResqRanch shaker cup if you get it right. So put down in the comments below who that horse is. And since I'm here by myself, as usual, I have to run around the camera to see if anybody put a comment in. Okay, so it looks like there's a couple of people still on the live. Thank you guys for being here. I just kind of wanted to share a little bit of behind the scenes today. As some of the other training videos and stuff that we do. Honestly, just this stuff, we're in dirty clothes and, you know, just kind of work style out here is really important too for taking care of horses. And so I didn't want to show you always just the shiny, pretty side of things, but also like the poopy side of things, literally the poopy side of things. Okay, so that horse was Natalia, and she is a 2-year-old Palomino Mustang filly, and she's being a very good girl right now because she's not interfering with anything that I'm doing. That's a common problem that people have at boarding facilities. Who knows what, right? Who knows what I'm talking about right now? Isn't it true when you're trying to clean stalls or paddocks or something like that, and you've got horses, especially young horses, like these 2 young horses that are in this corral with me right now, they are constantly trying to bother you and eat your bucket and knock things over and things like that. But notice these guys are not. Why do you think that is? Okay, I'm gonna give you just a minute to put down below while I get some more poop. And pardon my sniffling. We have pollen out here, plus I'm out here in the dust cleaning. So my allergies are acting up. Since my allergies are acting up, probably means I am not taking as good a care of myself as I should either. When I think about it, you know, I haven't taken any vitamin C or vitamin D or magnesium or a multivitamin or anything like that in a few days. And so I probably need to do that. And then my allergy symptoms would most likely be less. The other thing that's really good for those of you guys who have had allergies out there that's really safe and natural is quercetin. It's a natural antihistamine. So that's a little tip for you as well. Okay, from my perspective, I can't tell that anybody has put a comment in about why my horse is out bothering my bucket, but here she comes. And maybe, look at my pitchfork. Maybe she did bother it. Hi, girlie. Hi, baby girl. Yeah. Okay, so this is a common problem. Broken pitchfork tines, right? So everybody has it. It happens. Just goes to show you, though, here at the ResqRanch, we really could use a new one. So we have one new one, but we only have one new one. So we're trying not to use it unless we have guests and events around. So hopefully things will be here soon where we can get a new one of these. Or if you want to donate to the ResqRanch, you could go down to a feed store, pick one of these up, and bring it with you to your next event. And that would be a super helpful thing that you could do for us. Uh-oh, here comes Chili Willy coming in. Let's see what she does after I was just bragging about how our animals don't bother our kind should they come. Hi, girl. Hi, baby. Chili's a good girl. You're a good girl. Yeah, she's a good girl. Yes, you are. So I'm just going to try to keep myself in a position here where, notice I'm sort of keeping this bucket in between the two of us for safety. Sometimes Chili, she's still learning, right? She's a baby. And so, well, she's not really a baby anymore. She's like a teenager now. But personal space is still something that's a little bit hard for her. So one of the things I teach about in my horse training masterclass is that level 1 to 10 on the pressure scale, right? The pressure scale. So meaning that it's not just about how much pressure you might have on a lead rope, but also how much pressure you let them touch you with. Okay, so that's probably one of the biggest things that I think is a really big issue that people don't really understand. Is that like you really love animals, or you probably wouldn't be here. And what happens is that sometimes because of that, we get so excited that they want to touch us or be with us. You know, think about a little puppy that's wiggly and running up to you and getting in your arms, okay? So we want that touch so much that we sometimes, personal safety aside, in order to get that touch from that animal, okay? And with puppies that are gentle and soft, it's not a big deal unless the puppy is coming at you with all their little baby teeth, then it could be an issue. And with horses, same thing. I see that a lot when I have events that people come here and they so badly want to touch the horses. And the horses sometimes touch them with kind of a lot of pressure back, right? And a lot of times the way people interpret that as, oh yeah, you know, just leaning into it, like that the animal is really leaning into it, okay? But the thing is if it's an animal you don't know, It might be that they're leaning into it in a loving way, but notice how her head's staying kind of low. She's staying really soft. She bumped me a little bit hard just then, but not really. She's really being good. She's not touching me or pushing on me with anything above a 5 on the pressure scale. And so therefore I know it's safe for me to be in here with her. So that's really important. So if you find yourself in a situation with an animal, I don't care if it's a dog or a horse, and they are if you have to, wait, stop it, get off me. If you catch yourself doing anything like that, danger, danger zone, danger, get out of there, right? If you're crouched down and it's with the dog, stand up and change that. If it's with a horse, get out of the corral if they're touching you higher within that, or move away from them, okay? So be very careful with yourself, okay? This solstice is the perfect time for us to reflect on, again, what we have accomplished this year and what we have yet to accomplish for the rest of the year. And so, you know, it's important for me too. I have to think about that. I have to think about what we have accomplished this year and what we hope to accomplish. And the answer to the question that I wanted you guys to put down below that I didn't see yet if anybody got the correct answer, but it's positive reinforcement. Okay, that's how I'm literally able to be out here on this random Friday morning. Nothing is pre-organized or anything like that. We didn't like go run them around the round pen 50 times both directions to make sure that they didn't act up during the video, right? We didn't get anything like that. I just fed them breakfast and now I'm just doing my thing. And they are not trying to eat my wheelbarrow. They're not trying to eat my bucket. So this is like actual proof, you guys. Horse people that have ever had to clean stalls know what I'm talking about. Okay, this is live. There's nothing I can do to influence what's happening. These are two-year-old wild Mustangs, and they're not bothering me, right? They're just busy minding their own business, being well behaved. That's the power of positive reinforcement. So if you don't have this with your horse, I highly encourage you to find out what positive reinforcement is all about and start using it with your horses and all your animals, right? All your animals. Okay, so you guys, it's pretty clean in here, so I need to move out to the main corral. So let's do that. Look who is trying to eat my tripod. What did I tell you guys? They might leave my wheelbarrow alone, but they're sure fascinated by my tripod. So here's a perfect opportunity to do some training. So I would encourage you guys to always have a syringe available, so that when your horse is doing something that maybe you don't love for them to do, such as reaching through the bars of the fence, that's a perfect time to have a syringe available so that you can teach at that moment to tolerate. Good girl, good girl. So now she backed off a little bit. So since she backed off a little bit, I went ahead and rewarded her for that. So that was great that you guys got to see that, some live training in action. So I could have made a big deal about her trying to put her face through the bars. I could have ignored it for one. I could have, not even recognized that it might be something that I want to deal with. I could have just thought it was funny and laughed, which would have encouraged her to do it some more. Now you see how this filly is just standing there and not trying to put her head through? So I really love that behavior. And so I'm certainly going to go ahead and take a second to reward that. So remember, those of you who have taken my horse training masterclass, you know that you're always going to reward down low to the ground, which is why it's really, really super important that you be able to do squats and that you be able to be quick on your feet. You can't really be a great horse trainer if you are not, at least have a basic level of physical fitness. Okay, and so what I always tell people is that for me, that looks like an expectation of being able to do 3 sets of 10 good squats. Okay, and so I can show you kind of what that looks like. Okay, here we go. Let's see if I can really do my, I'm gonna stretch first. Oh, hi girl. Hi girl. Hi girl. One, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I did 1 set of squats. You know what? I feel better. I probably should have done those before I started poop scooping, honestly. And now we have this girl who's really interested in getting the opportunity to train some more. So again, do the right thing at the right time. I was poop scooping, but she's ready for a training session. So I'm gonna stop what I was doing with poop scooping and concentrate on training her now. Okay, who knows what I'm doing? I'm getting snakes and pointer. Look at my pointer so I can ask her. Okay, guys, here's my pointer. So let's see what happens. See if you can see what happens. Because right now, the best thing for me to do is to stop my poop scooping and do a little training. Because look at her. She is here, right? Here, that's what I always say. Are they here or not? Okay, she's definitely here. So let's see how much movement I can get at her. Good girl. Okay, so why was that important? Why does that even matter? Well, I probably couldn't even tell from the camera angle that I have here, but the more an animal wants to spend time with you and be close to you and follow, I mean, did you notice that I got her to go to one end of the corral and then to the other end of the corral and then back to the camera? And not only did she kind of dash back and forth because she's so excited about hanging out with me, she's so excited about being with me and so happy to be with me. I mean, she's like a puppy dog, right? She's not really like what people think of with horses. She's more like a puppy who's like super excited to play ball. Okay, maybe a slow puppy, but that's definitely what she's like. But now she's gone back to her breakfast, which is fine, because now I'm gonna go back to pretty much how, and that's pretty much how I'm gonna spend the rest of the morning. So what we do here is we alternate how we do things. So what I always warn people about is don't get too linear in your thinking. Okay? Don't get stuck on one line of events, right? So sometimes as horse people, we go, okay, first things first. First, I'm going to catch, halter and lead rope, tie my horse up, curry comb, pick feet, saddle on, et cetera, et cetera. We get really linear in our thinking. And I encourage you guys to be much more flexible than that. Allow your subconscious mind to grow and get outside that linear thinking, get outside the box, so to speak, right? And train the right thing at the right time. So in the middle of me poop scooping, did you notice, if you've been watching this, not only did I train Chili to tolerate getting a syringe full of medication in her mouth, and she did very well with that, I did some target training with Natalia, pretty advanced, right, to get her to move through different locations. So her target training is really coming along, and still nobody has bothered my manure bucket, right? And so somebody who's cleaned lots of stalls in my time and watched other people clean lots of stalls in their time, I know how rare and unusual it is, again, especially young horses, to not bother with the manure bucket. And so it may not seem like a big deal to you, but it just makes me giggle a little bit inside. Maybe you too, if you've ever had to clean stalls and you know how tough it can be. Because those horses are looking for attention. They're begging for attention, right? They don't know how to interact with you. They want to interact with you in some way. They don't understand what you're saying. You guys are both like following around without speaking a common language. You sort of just maybe possibly, it's irritating, right? Because you only have so much time and you've got to get it done. The horse doesn't understand that. You got to get to class or get to work or whatever it is. And so for you, the horse bothering the manure bucket is an irritant. And so it makes you frustrated and kind of angry, right? Where the horse is simply looking for some attention. They don't know your work schedule. They don't know that you got to go, right? And so that's why you don't have a common language, right? You don't have a way to communicate that to your horse. But if you have positive reinforcement, you have a way to communicate with your horse. Okay, you literally have a language. It's a basic language. I remember hearing about on television when these gorillas were taught sign language. Okay, I'm not good at sign language. I don't want to try to pretend I'm not. Should be probably. We probably all should have some basic level of sign language, and they were able to communicate with these animals using sign language. If you have positive reinforcement, it is like having sign language your horse. Granted, it's the beginning, right? Like Natalia, she knows every letter of the alphabet, okay, but she knows potentially 27. A way of looking at it anyway. But clearly she's not begging for attention because she's just kind of happily munching. She's nice and relaxed. Chili also munching, came by to see what I was doing. Decided to maybe beg for some food, which is what Chili was doing when she was reaching through the bars in a way that I didn't really love. I didn't really want her practicing that, right? So I just have everything here, positive reinforcement style, so that we can work in protected contact, which is from the other side of the fence, and have all of our tools available. So I had a syringe handy, and I was able to use that syringe to teach her to not be afraid of having a syringe in her mouth. That's the right time to teach that. So again, that's why positive reinforcement is faster. Okay, so people always say, "Oh, it took me a long time to do positive reinforcement." You know, it's because most of the time what I see is that yes, you know how to do positive reinforcement, but you and your horse only have like one letter of the alphabet, right? You need to learn the second letter of the alphabet, the third letter of the alphabet. What I see people get stuck on is they understand target training, and then they can get their horse to maybe target a place or two. And then that's it. They don't have the ability to blossom in their understanding of how to use that to go ahead and do all the rest of the things. Grooming and saddling and hoof picking and standing quietly for being tied and riding and all the things, right? All the things. And so that is what positive reinforcement does for you. It gives you a language. So these little horses are not starved for attention because they know pretty much anytime they come over here, watch, you know, that you've seen that now if you've been watching this video. If they approach me, I'm going to give them some attention, right? We're going to make sure we keep that attention at a 5 or less on both sides of the equation, right? So no pushing or ramming or anything like that. And if so, I'm going to get out of that corral. And now they're just going to kind of go back to breakfast, and I'm going to go back to my poop scooping and getting ready for my summer solstice event. I'm so excited to share. I really hope that you come out to the Rescue Ranch. So if you happen to be local, I know it's Friday morning, so maybe everybody that's here on this video doesn't have the ability to watch it right now, or maybe just get pieces and parts of it. But thanks for being here, first of all. I really appreciate you. If you've been here for any amount of time, will you please subscribe down below if you're not already subscribed? It does a ton for us as far as to get more grant things to feed the animals. It costs you nothing, so we really, really appreciate your support by just making sure to subscribe. If you see any of my little short videos that you like or entertaining, please share them with your friends so that we can get this message of positive reinforcement out to more people that really need to hear it. Because there's a lot of you out there that are frustrated with your animals. You know there's something, you just feel it deep in your heart. There's something missing about all the ways that you've been taught to make your horse do stuff. Because if you really love horses, you don't want to make them do anything. And if that's the case, then you're definitely in the right place, because here we don't make anybody do anything. It's only if you want to. I don't care who you are. I don't care how many legs you have. So as long as it's not a safety issue, there's nothing you have to do when you come here. It's all voluntary. So what could be more fun than that, right? And so I am so excited to have this place, so excited to be here, so excited to share it with all of you. That's really what I'm here for, is to share the message of positive reinforcement, because I know for a fact that's how I can help more animals. I may be not able to save 500 wild Mustangs, but what I can do is save 500 horses that would end up being sold from not being sold and staying in their home because their caregiver has a new method of understanding that solves all the behavior problems that they ever had before, all the biting and the kicking and the fear of getting hurt or smashed or what have you. So those all just disappear, and your horse is not bothering your manure bucket or trying to knock you down, and you're physically fit enough to do it no matter what your age. And it's how I am here to change the world. So if that sounds awesome to you, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, consider a donation to the Rescue Ranch, but mostly, if you can, come to our solstice party, which is tomorrow night, June 21st, the solstice, the longest day of the year, you guys. So even if you don't come here, I encourage you to just get out there and enjoy the longest day of sunshine that we have for the rest of 2025, because after tomorrow, every day is a little less sunshine, all the way back to winter time. Isn't that mind blowing? Am I right? I mean, it's crazy. Okay, so, but we're not going to worry about that. What we're going to do is we're going to own it. That's what we're going to do. We're going to own it. We're going to set an intention for what we want the rest of the year to look like, what we want Natalia to learn, what I want Chili to learn, what I want to share with you on these videos. I want to hear what questions that you have so that I can answer them for you. Let's see. Let's look and see if there's any questions right now. I don't see any questions right now, but what I thought I might do is, if they don't bother my tripod, I might just leave the video on while I finish poop scooping. Okay, so what I decided to do is move Natalia into a stall. I need to clean that stall, but I'm going to just have her hang out there so that I can leave these gates open while I'm coming and going with the manure bucket. See how she's kind of wandering around a little bit, so I'm going to give her something to do in there. Hi, girl. Hi, Roro.
Hi, gorgeous. Oh, princess. Good girl.
Oh, I forgot I have the microphone on. Are you guys laughing at me right now? As I'm talking to other horses, because I forget that I'm still on camera. I don't mind if you're laughing at me. I laugh at myself. Okay, so I don't love feed buckets being in there. That they can step on and break. They're expensive. So let's not let our horses step on our equipment. At least that's what I say. Okay, so now she's contained. I have to tie my shoe. Amazing, right? Watch YouTube videos to watch people tie their shoes badly. Since I have gloves on. Oh, here comes Chili. Okay. And the gates are open. Okay, so Chili decided to come too. Totally fine, right? Again, this is kind of normal day here. So I put her in a stall so she stays nice and quiet in there and can eat. I don't love the fact that there's poop in that stall, so I do want to get that. But let me show you what I did with Chili. So she came forward and wanted to come in. So again, okay, so YouTube was not going to let me record anymore live from inside the barn. So I'm going to set this up here because I need to poop scoop this corral. I set this up here because I need to poop scoop this corral. And I have both. So here's a perfect time to, ooh, I see a vulture right over there. I probably can't move the camera in time for you guys to see that thing. But we are pretty close to an interstate, unfortunately, which means there's a lot of roadkill sometimes. And so we have a whole bunch of these huge vultures live right in this corridor here. And so sometimes we're lucky them flying by. Sometimes we're lucky enough to have them actually perch and dry their wings here. It's a big group. I've seen as many as up to like 10. They look a little bit like velociraptors or something. Like you would not want all of them, 10 of them coming after you, that is for sure. But these sheds we have here, these shelters for the horses, has been such a blessing, and I'm so grateful to all of you that donated to help make them happen. And I just, again, can't thank you enough. It's been really a great addition to helping us be better able to give them good quality of life. So thank you so much for that. And then also our camera system is down, unfortunately, currently right now. We've been trying to get it repaired, and yeah, we can't get it repaired, and I've been on the phone with the company for over 2 months waiting for a replacement device. That doesn't seem to be coming, and we would really love to have our camera system back up and running. So if we end up having to buy a new camera system to replace that one so that we can get the cameras going again, it's probably going to cost us about $800, which is something that we just don't have right now, not with all the expense. And we're still actually not done with these sheds. They're mostly done, but there's still some cross bracing that needs to be done inside of them to help make sure they're more sturdy for our heavy winds and snows that we have here in Colorado. So we're not quite done with the sheds. They look done, but they're not quite done. And I see the horses down in the front field wandering along. And I'm gonna see if anybody has any questions. And if you don't, I'm gonna get back to the poop scooping. Okay, everybody, let's wrap this thing up for today. Okay, so tomorrow's the solstice. All that means is a moment to reflect on how the first half of the year has gone for you and how you hope the last half of the year is going to go. If you're local and you want to come celebrate with us, this is where we'll be. And so it'll be amazing to be here and share that special moment with people, especially who appreciate horses. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, donate if you're able, visit us if you're able, always ask questions, never take anything for face value, think outside the box, be flexible, be powerful. We'll see you right here next time. I'm Dr. Q, here to help you have the most amazing relationship with all the animals in your life. And thank you and God bless for supporting us here at the Rescue Ranch. Natalia says thank you too.